Hi, this is Gramps.
Hello,
How are you, Gramps?
I'm doing well,
That's good. That's good. How old are you?
and I'm older than dirt.
Older than dirt. How old's that?
I'm almost 68.
Almost 68. Okay. And you've been around here for a long time then, huh? Pretty much. All right. So, where did you grow up at?
I'm Mossville born and raised.
Knoxville, born and raised. Nice.
Yeah.
Same, coincidentally, same. Okay. What was one of the highlights of your childhood?
Highlights of my childhood are my tree houses and tree forts that I built as a kid, and Boy Scout camps, canoeing, swimming in the big lakes, and all the things that went along with that. And then go into the cattle shows with my grandfather. We raised registered Black Angus and went to the state fair and the Dixie Classic Fair and showed the bull off and did that kind of stuff.
So lots of farm activities then, huh?
Yeah, some,
You mentioned Boy Scouts. How long did you do Boy Scouts for?
Boy Scouts, I was life. I didn't quite make it to Eagle Scout, but I did that all the way up till I was about 15.
So from how old to 15?
It started at 11.
11?
Yeah,
11,
I did Cub Scouts before that, but Boy Scouts was at 11 and got through about age 15.
Okay. You said you built tree houses. How did you build tree houses?
With sticks and honeysuckle vines.
Honeysuckle vines. Can you explain what that is?
Well, it's a honeysuckle vine.
It's just a vine.
And you strip the green off the vine, and it's kind of like a natural rope. And with the lashing and the knot tying stuff that I learned in Boy Scouts, lashed the pieces of the wood together up into the tree and tied it off, and there they were.
Yeah, all right. So that Boy Scouts coming in handy then, huh?
Yep.
Cattle. You said you did cattle shows?
Yeah, we had a registered Black Angus bull that we raised from a calf. Name was Paul, weighed almost 2,000 pounds. And
2,000.
Yeah, when he was full grown, he weighed 2,000 pounds. Yeah, that was our breeding bull.
Was there any prior grooming that had to be done before the show? Like, what did y'all have to do for that?
Yeah, pretty much just gave him a bath.
Gave him a bath?
Yeah.
Just gave him a good wash and hook him on there?
Yeah.
Was there any type of reward for that, or did you just go for
ribbons?
Ribbons?
Yeah,
ribbons.
we never did real big competitions and stuff on that. We just took them to the fair and showed them off, because that way, if any of the other farmers around were interested in his bloodline, then we could make arrangements with the vet and everything to have collections made so they could artificially inseminate their stock and get a new bloodline started in their herds.
That's cool. All right, so whenever you're growing up in school, how would you say you did in school as far as like grades and stuff goes?
Anything below excellent was unacceptable. My mother was secretary to the principal, and I pretty much didn't have any choice.
You had no choice, yeah. All right. So what were your goals when you were trying to get out of school, as far as like graduating high school and stuff?
I wanted to go to med school.
Med school.
And so all the classes that I took in high school were pretty much geared toward that. And I even did a senior year project where I had a group of guinea pigs, and I performed surgery on the guinea pigs.
On the guinea pigs?
From using surgical instruments and anesthesia and everything that Mr. Havner, which was my science teacher at the time, acquired from the hospital. And we shaved them and opened them up, and I took tissue samples and organ samples and stuff, a little bit from each one of the guinea pigs, so one of them wouldn't just be totally done and all like that. And then I made slides and stained them and everything, and had a whole collection of the slides and all that it had done, and that was my senior year project for my biology class.
Well, that's interesting. I'm guessing it was a successful surgery then? Did they live past it?
Yeah, every single one of them.
Every 100% success rate.
Yeah, because when the surgery was over, it used the dissolving suture on the inside to close up the areas that were opened up to get to the underlying organs and stuff in it. So use dissolving sutures on those, and then use regular sutures on the outside and everything. And the ones that were in some of the critical areas even left a suture out on the base of the cut to make sure that it could ooze out, and that way infection wouldn't gather up on the inside. It was pretty extensive.
Yeah, especially on the, what was it?
They were guinea pigs.
Guinea pigs? Okay,
Yeah.
I thought they had a hamster or something.
You know, they were guinea pigs, and they're on the last two surgeries. I had a crowd. They brought the science.
So everybody said lots of pressure.
Yeah, everybody was watching, and from the other science classes came in to watch me do surgery on guinea pigs.
Oh, sounds interesting. I know this. Miss Dunn doesn't know this, but you did flight school and stuff like that. Got your pilot's license.
Yeah, I've had some. I went to Wake Forest and started med school, but I had children and a mortgage and everything going on at the same time, and I made a life choice to give up med school after a year and a half. And so I went into real estate and construction and everything, and I had dreams about flying some, just watching World War II things on television and all like that was one of it. So I went to Twin Lakes and signed up for flight school there and worked my way through and got my pilot's license there, and even thought about going to work for Piedmont Airlines. My uncle was the number 3 Piedmont pilot that was ever hired.
So is that like a commercial thing where they fly people around from like place to place?
Yeah, that was Piedmont Airlines. Yeah, it was the real deal. But flying is really, really expensive, and making enough hours and logging enough hours on your logbook, and actually to get that to where you can go that, if you don't fly commercially and get hired on the lower level and stuff, to where you can build your time and get your turbine time and stuff, it's really hard to do.
Yeah.
And then U.S. Air bought Piedmont out, and I just made a decision that I didn't really want to go that route and stuff. So we just normally would fly down to the beach for a day and make a day trip out of it. We'd fly down, we'd eat lunch and tour around the beach. And I knew everybody at the ramp down there at the Grand Strand, and had access to the courtesy car. So we'd fly down for the day and hang around Myrtle Beach for a little bit, eat lunch, and you bring the car back, and we'd fly back home in the evening. So it was pretty good.
Hang on. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
so
one of the more interesting things about flying was we did a ferry trip where we went to Huntsville, Alabama, to pick up another airplane and bring it back to Twin Lakes. And on the way back, Chattanooga Air Traffic Control sent me right smack into the middle of a thunderstorm.
Oh, wow.
With a Cessna 172.
And that's a fairly small airplane, right?
That's a no-no.
Yeah, that's just
that
not
plane that was in there. But evidently they thought that I could get through before it got there. But what happened was enough moisture in the air and everything that my struts and my wings started icing.
Ooh.
And started losing altitude.
It's not good.
And with the amount of traffic that was in the air, they were hesitant to let me turn.
Yeah.
And so I contacted Atlanta and got them to override Chattanooga and let me turn out of it. And then I went down toward Charlotte instead of heading toward Asheville more. And there was a airport there at Liberty that I went ahead and landed there. The ground temperature and air temperature down there was enough. It thawed the airplane up, got all the moisture off of it, and took